ado, I want to bring up Elmo, who's formerly known as Min Lin. Give a warm welcome to Elmo.
Did you just say holy shit, Elmo? Hi, I'm Elmo. Hi, everybody. Elmo is happy. Elmo's happy. Elmo has no other vocabulary for emotions other than happy. Elmo tried therapy one time. Therapists say, Elmo, how does that make you feel? Elmo say, Elmo's happy. Therapist say, Elmo, take your time. But therapists still charge Elmo by the minutes. Elmo didn't feel safe. Elmo dissociates. Because Elmo loves everybody, but Elmo has Elmo problems. Elmo has not blinked since 1984. Elmo tired. So Elmo's doing stand-up comedy. Then Elmo finds out no money in stand-up comedy. Elmo's happy. Elmo gonna hustle, do lots of jobs because Elmo is gonna make lots of money. Elmo wants to go to Korea. Elmo doesn't need double eyelids, just any eyelids will do. Elmo loves you. Once Elmo has eyelids, Elmo won't retire. Elmo keep working hard because Elmo also needs teeth. Elmo tired of eating soup. And one time, Elmo tried to have a cookie with Cookie Monster. And Elmo finds out Elmo's no digestive tract. Elmo tells therapist, Elmo feels empty on the inside. Yes, ooh. This is an empath group. Ooh. Therapist say, Elmo, all Muppets are empty on the inside. Elmo switched therapist. Elmo does not need gaslighting. Fast forward 20 years in stand-up comedy, Elmo became Taiwanese. Let's hope for no costume malfunction, all right? All right. I got the eyelid. Yeah, eyelids and teeth and digestive tract. I'm empty on the inside only when you don't laugh. No, I done 5 years talk therapy. 4 solid on the inside. My name is Min Lin. 2 sets in 10 minutes, yay! My name is Min Lin. I'm from Taiwan. I have lived in Seattle for 20 years though. So I'm down with the word moist. This is my moist favorite city. And I don't belong. I don't belong. And that is my superpower. Took me a long time to figure out though. That's my wisdom today. Not belonging could be a superpower. Before I left Taiwan, I watched every single American TV shows I could find. I came here with my suitcase, ready to be Ellen DeGeneres. That's why I dated women. because I thought I had to. If not lesbian, why lesbian shape? Elmo still loves you. And you, yes. Every one of my lesbian relationship was beautiful to begin with, until the fighting started. And every single fight was like a social emotional learning class working on me. I fell out of lesbian school for being emotionally frozen. So I went on Craigslist. I mined that abundant planet. I found a couch, I found an apartment, and I found one Craigslist husband. We've been married for 16 years now. Yeah, thank you. Usually they don't applaud. They're like, questionable judgment. So my friend said, Min, are you not a little bit ashamed to find the love of your life from Craigslist? I said, no, I'm not one to pass up a good deal. I found myself a handsome white dude for free. This much handsomeness. Good deal. And we got kids, twins, from here. Yeah. To here. Yeah. They're taller than me now. I'm really worried they're going to take my lunch money. My kids are 12, and it's becoming very hard for me to be a good mom to my kids. Because when we hang out, we just look like 3 middle schoolers. It's not safe. Sometimes I pick them up from school, and I see other 7th graders and 8th graders. They're about this tall, all of them, makeup and everything, fully formed. I look at these middle schoolers and look at myself, and I just want to know, when is my puberty gonna hit? Because I'm ready for it. And I just would like my puberty to hit before my menopause. Because that'd be scientific. I'm ready for it. And through therapy, I no longer feel like a humble immigrant. I just feel like a white chick that watches true crime. Super safe, super secure. And before, not long ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was like clinically afraid of human beings. Yeah. But you know what I found out through doing stand-up comedy? That I'm exceptionally good with human beings, as long as I'm the only one talking. So I make reels also, because I'm the only one talking there. And my doctor says throughout the therapy, they find out that they tell me I don't have 1 or 2, but I have 3 mental disorders: anxiety, ADHD, and autism. And I say, Doc, that's just the Seattle Holy Trinity. Every single one of my friends got the AAA membership. Lifetime subscription. When I got a diagnosis, though, because I have a degree in science, I immediately put my kids in parkour, D&D, and Pokemon. For those are the language of my people. I did Comic-Con this year, and I was just like, I'm a geek, but I don't know how to play D&D. And I come to Girl GeekCon. I say, am I a girl? Am I a boy? Am I Data from Goonies? Is this a large booty trap? So I keep trying because I have exceptional ability to recognize patterns. So I keep trying to funnel myself into every single box I could see along the way. But man, every single one was either too tight, too hard, too cold, too soft. So I've given up. This is me not belonging. I'm not dressing up. I'm just me. I might not be good at being a lesbian. I might be confusing as a housewife. I might be a weird mom to middle schoolers. But I am just one data point, and I don't care anymore. So that's me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Keep it going from Inland. Not Elmo. Who gives a our next comedian produces his own shows in Seattle. Part of the, they're called the Disabled List, and they're really good shows. I highly recommend going checking them out. It just highlights disabled performers. It's absolutely awesome. I've been to some shows, so that's all I wanted to say about how amazing this person is. So without further ado, give it up for Dan Hurwitz.
Is this a bit? Oh, wait, no, it's not a bit. Is this a bit? It's not a bit. It's not a bit. This is not a bit. This is, whoever's recording this, can you edit, can you cut this? We're gonna, starting now, okay. Thank you, Valerie, thanks for having me. Give it up for Valerie, everyone. This is actually the third show in a row I followed someone in a big red suit. And I don't know what that's about, really. It's niche, maybe. So before we get started, I do want to say that I am not AI. I'm a real boy, okay? Yeah, so a little bit about me. I'm half Jewish, half black, and disabled, but other than that, I'm having a good day. Thank you, person in the front. Why aren't the rest of you laughing that hard? What's your name? Lam? Why can't you all be more like Lam? Lam's having a good time here. So, you know, being half Jewish, half black, and disabled can make me feel a little bit out of place sometimes. Not as out of place as Russell Crowe in the movie version of Les Mis. Also, I find myself in the middle of some like uncomfortable family arguments, you know, like sometimes my parents will be going back and forth about who's more historically oppressed, the blacks or the Jews. And that's a tough one, right? But deep down, I kind of think we all know the answer, so why don't we say it together on 3? One, 2, Lenny Kravitz. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lam. Let's see. I'm in a new relationship. This is exciting. Yeah. It's still early, you know. It's kind of got that new relationship smell. Or what some of you may call pheromones. I don't know, different words. And I don't know. I may be dating myself here, and by dating myself, I don't mean what I was doing before the relationship. But see, I believe in neither a Jewish God, a Christian God, or a Muslim God. I believe in the God of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And so my new partner, she doesn't like the fuzziness of my beard, so I've been shaving. Now, as everyone knows, Star Trek really got good when what happened? When Riker got the beard. So this seems like a karmically risky thing to do, to shave my beard. Like, let me give you an example. That joke went over okay, right? But season 2 Dan with the beard would have made a much better joke. Do you see what I'm saying? You're getting season 1 Dan, or maybe like kind of over the summer when he's got a little bit of stubble and maybe he's not going to see her till tomorrow. I don't know. I'll start working it out. I went on a family trip recently. My family came to visit, and we accidentally came across a bikini barista. Now, here's the thing. My parents are not from Washington. They don't know about this phenomenon, okay? And so this was just a good reminder, okay? If you're ever in a car trip with your parents and they say, hey, let's stop at this coffee shop, you want to look at the name of the coffee shop first. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation where everyone is ready to leave the coffee shop except for your dad. But it's a little awkward, okay? Just like that joke, a little awkward, okay? Yeah, I don't know. How we doing here? Sorry, this is really unprofessional to look at my notes here. Cut that out too, okay? I'm an athlete, as you guys can probably tell by looking at me. Thank you for applauding. No, okay, no, I know you don't mean it now. But I injured my foot. I was having some trouble running, and I went to the doctor. And you know how after you go to the doctor, you get this like, you know, after appointment summary that you can read online, you know. And so I'm reading this thing, and one thing about me is on my left toe, I only have one toe, just one big toe. And so in the notes of this summary, the doctor says, patient is missing several lesser toes. I'm just like, who does this guy think he is? Assigning value to my toes, you know? Like, thank you, Dr. Quentin Tarantino, you know? This is really important information. I got so mad, though, I called him up, okay? And then I said, listen, sir, there are no lesser toes. There are only lesser doctors. Man, you guys are so fun. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys have... You've been following Lom's lead and really just like, that's just super fun. And this is, this is like a dream for me as, as a geek, someone who, grew up on seasons 1 through 7 of Star Trek TNG. This is, yeah, one woo. But I, got to perform a lot, here in Washington, and I had the privilege of performing recently at a black comedy club. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the club, okay, because it's a rival venue. But there's only one black comedy club in the entire Pacific Northwest. So you can Google it after the show, But to be performing at a black club was a big deal. For someone who looks like Rachel Dolezal's second cousin, okay? It was a big deal. And I can honestly say that I crushed at this black comedy club. And crushing at a black comedy club is the blackest thing I've ever done. And telling you guys about it is the whitest thing I've ever done. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been great. Keep it up for Valerie, everyone.
Keep it going for Dan. And check out the Disabled List. It's a really good show. Our next comedian needs no introduction because they didn't give me one. So give it up for Jojo Blacko.
Can I get a whole yeah? I love that I can talk to you guys now. Hey, hi, hell yeah. I heard there's a lot of geeks in here. Is that true? Is that okay, cool. I'm a huge nerd, guys. I don't know if you can tell by my outfit. Huge nerd, dude. And I don't know, are there any 90s kids in here? 90s kids make some noise? Hell yeah. 80s babies make some noise? Hell yeah. 70s babies? Okay, that was a lot lighter. Did you hear that? Did you hear how light that was? I only asked that question, guys, because I'm pretty sure we can all relate to this. They have been rebooting everything from our childhood. Yes, can we agree on this? Rebooting everything. It's crazy. I literally saw a reboot for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air lately, guys. It's called Bel-Air. Not as cool, not as great. And it made me realize there are so many other shows we can have gritty reboots of. So many other shows. Imagine Full House. Make it gritty. Call it Halfway House. Still got the Olsen twins in it. They fit that description. Still got Uncle Joey in the basement. He's not saying cut it out, he's saying smoke it out. Way different. But we could have so many other gritty reboots. Why stop at Full House? So many other directions we can go. Johnny Bravo. Bravo versus the Me Too movement. Not as great. Not as great. Not a great time. The Flintstones. Okay. The Flintstones, Rise of Crack Rock. Way different. Way different. I don't know if I can say this next one. I'll say it anyway. Cat Dog. Haitian Buffet. It's a late bloomer right there. Late bloomer. You're like, oh, wait. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I'm glad you got it. That's all that matters. We got there. We got there. Even have a predominantly black Star Wars movie, guys. Imagine that. Imagine a predominantly black Star Wars movie called Star Wars Revenge of the Pimp. I know, I'm sorry, white people, sorry. Michael B. Jordan as Anakin Skywalker. Okay. Morgan Freeman as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Pete Davidson as Jar Jar Binks. That makes sense to me somehow. That makes a lot of sense. Except in my movie, when Anakin goes to the dark side and becomes Darth Vader. He is now voiced by one Cat Williams. That only makes sense. That makes sense to me. And imagine a scene in that movie where Darth Vader is knocked down by Obi-Wan Kenobi using the Force. And I imagine that scene going something like this. Oh, Sith Lord down, Sith Lord in distress. Luke, help your daddy out. They got a Sith Lord on his back. Oh my God, Steve Harvey looked like Mr. Potato Head. I messed up my one good knee for that joke. I don't know. One good knee. Good knee is gone. Tell you something else, guys. I'm a huge wrestling fan. Huge wrestling fan. That never happens. Okay, cool. That's cool. I love wrestling, dude. Love wrestling so much. And when I tell other adults I love wrestling, they usually say one thing to me every single time. Every single time. And that sentence is, you know that's fake. Right. You know that's fake, right? I'm aware. Did you really think I thought The Undertaker was a zombie for 20 years? You thought I was just believing that casually? No. They never talk about one very important thing about professional wrestling, though. One very important thing. One very important thing. And that's how gay it is. Gayest thing ever. Gayest thing ever. WWE specifically is so gay that they have a show called Monday Night Raw. That's the only way I know how to operate now, guys. Raw. And on Mondays. It's crazy how that works. It's crazy double entendre. WWE also had the blackest white wrestler I ever seen in my entire life. I know that's a very confusing sentence. I'm sorry. But I'll tell you that that wrestler's name was John Cena. Specifically, the year was 2003. And John Cena was so black in 2003 that he was the only wrestler to say, wait one cotton picking minute during a wrestling promo. And no one questioned. You can Google it, too. He said that. No one questioned. Like, John Cena can say cotton. I feel like he can say that. I feel like that's cool. John Cena was so black in 2003 that he released a rap album that went platinum. And he immediately got stabbed in a nightclub via storyline. It was like, he was the right Tupac, man. He was crazy. He was going wild in the streets. John Cena was so black in 2003. Thank you, I don't know. Somebody caught on, there it goes. That he literally challenged Jay-Z and Fabulous to a rap battle at WrestleMania in Seattle that they did not show up to. They was like, I don't want that smoke, John. You might say cotton. I'm good. I don't want that. Oh, there's a lot of white people for this next part. You guys are either going to hate me or you're going to love me. Okay, here we go. John Cena was so black in 2003 that he adapted the mindset and catchphrase of every single black dad in the hood. You can't see me. Except on weekends. Okay. I went to one of my white friends' house recently, guys, and I looked on his mantle in his man cave, because white guys have those. And he didn't have one, he didn't have two. He had all 4 of the live action Ninja Turtle heads on his mantle. True story, true story. And I asked him, I said, Brent, how much did you pay for these? Said, I paid $7,000 a head, JoJo. $7,000 a head. Thought that was crazy. And then it made me think, what if we had an episode of My Strange Addiction dedicated to nothing but nerdy white men and their interest? I imagine that episode, first episode, Colin, white man, man cave. He goes up in there, the cast and camera crew of My Strange Addiction go in there, and the first thing he says is, dude, I have Chance, Shadow, and Sassy, entire cast of Homeward Bound, taxidermied. If you look to the left, there goes Beethoven. And I just ordered Airbud last week. Greatest crossover ever. You may think all dogs go to heaven, but they really just go to Colin's house. My name's been JoJo Blacko.
Keep it going for JoJo, everyone. We have one more comedian before we're going to do a little bit of silly musicalness. This person has been doing geeky comedy with me since 2019, 2020. Imagine that thing started in 2020. She actually has a workshop tomorrow that demystifies math at 3 o'clock. So if you're like, math, what? Go to that. So give it up for Teresa Flores.
Awesome. I'm so happy to be here with y'all this evening. I'm actually happy to be anywhere that's not my bed. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with my bed. I'll avoid it for days at a time and sleep in a desk chair. And that's because if I allow myself to go fully horizontal, my brain will not let me get up again for about 24 hours. And what does eventually force me up is not hunger or actual responsibility or anything like that. It's the fact that I charge my phone in my kitchen and I have a 3-year streak on Duolingo. And when nothing else can shake me out of a depressive state, when I have not eaten in 24 hours or showered in 4 days or touched a hairbrush in 2 weeks, the only thing that works is a green cartoon owl. And Dan, I'm with you here on the notes. This is in another language, so I need notes. Incluso la gente que se queda en casa todavía puede hacer el pelo. Or even people who stay at home can still do their hair. So this is for you, Duo El Bujo. You helped me write this set, and I even brushed my hair for it and everything. Yes. And like Valerie mentioned, I've been doing GeekGirlCon with Geeky Comedy Saddle for a few years now, so this is also for all of you. And you guys are a great crowd. I always look forward to doing the show, but I'm also really anxious that you didn't want to hear the same jokes I told last year or the year before. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to write as much new material as possible. And that's honestly kind of hard for me because my day job as a math and science tutor, I don't have to write new stuff that often. Because learning things, practicing things, repetition, that's part of learning. So if I do the same lesson for the second or the third or the fifth time, that's not reusing old material, that is just sound pedagogy. Okay. But I do have to adapt sometimes, right? My students are different every year. The learning landscape has changed a lot in the 20 or so years I've worked in education. But the thing, I know, right? Guess how old I am. But the thing that really keeps me on my toes is the ever-increasing length of the list of meme numbers that I have to avoid. Because it used to be fine. As long as I avoid 23 times 3 or 30 plus 390, I'm good. Algebra was particularly hard. If I make up algebra examples on the fly, I use random numbers, and then suddenly I'm subtracting 5 from 74 and have to pretend that nothing's funny. But when I work with younger kids or smaller numbers, I used to not have to worry about that. But now we can't even count to 10 without having a meme-related breakdown about halfway through. But I think we've got to accept that viral numbers are not going anywhere. So we can't fight it. We have to embrace it. So we just have to take the funny thing that's on the internet and make it something we actually want kids to learn anyway. We've done it before. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. We can do it again. And so if some TikToker or Twitch streamer just takes a second and says something snarky about simplifying fractions, that would make my life so much easier. And if you're dubious as to if this would work, I can tell you that ever since social media users came up with a mathematically accurate phrase to describe the huge disparity between the likes and comments on a post, I have not had a problem teaching ratios ever since then. Thanks. So teaching is my day job. Comedy is my, I want to say side gig, but I think those are supposed to make you money, so we'll call it hobby. But teaching and comedy have a lot of the same skill set. When Valerie and I did a workshop on how to do stand-up comedy at this con a few years ago, somebody asked us, how do you learn how to deal with hecklers? And I said, teach high school. Hey. Teaching and comedy also have really let me hold on to my inner theater kid. I used to do a lot of shows in high school and college, and I can instantly tell you what 365 times 24 times 60 is, and it's not because I'm good at mental arithmetic. That's another way, Homer. Okay. One of the shows that I did in college, and I did this show in college 3 times actually, was called The Vagina Monologues. Yes. And at the time, it was the centerpiece of the V-Day organization. In the time since, they have shifted focus and increased their scope, so I highly recommend you look into that. But I did the show in college, and I was selling tickets for it when somebody came up to me and looked me straight in the eye and said, would you do this show in the country that you're from? Ma'am, I was born in Seattle. So I would, in fact, do this country in the show that I'm from. You know what I won't do in the country that I'm from now? Not at least anymore, at least. I won't leave home without my passport. And awe is as good as a laugh, guys. Okay. And so, but we know what question this woman was really asking. So to answer her unspoken question, I am the proud daughter of Filipino immigrants. Also as a millennial daughter of Asian immigrants, I've never cried harder while watching movies than during the 2-week span in March of 2022 that saw the release of both Turning Red and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yes. I watched the first movie with my niece and the second movie with my now husband. It was very different experiences. My niece was 5 at the time, and she wanted to watch the movie with me because, in her words, she wanted to warn me about the scary parts. She was terrified of May's mother, and to be honest, I found her a little bit intimidating too. But my niece was reacting to her red panda form, and I was just reacting to her as an Asian mother. Although the thing that I really found scary about the Turning Red was the fact that the boy band obsessed early 2000s era that was my teenage years now qualified to be a retro piece. I would call it a period film, but Fleabag did that joke already with a different movie. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once with my partner. He wasn't as moved by it as I was, and I'm not sure if it was because he couldn't relate to the mother-daughter dynamic, or if because, as far as immigration is concerned, he is 1 generation removed from me. He's commented a lot of times that he's seen parallels between the stories that I tell about my childhood and the stories that his mother tells him about her childhood. And I don't want to buy into the cliche about men marrying their mothers or women not living up to their in-laws' expectations, but I will tell you a couple things. She and I are both Asian women who don't have driver's licenses and buy clothes for my husband. And my fried rice has never tasted as good as hers. Yeah. Okay. And so I'm not a great cook in general, although I do love cooking reality competition shows. Yeah, I like reality competition shows in general, except that the judging table at the end always makes me really anxious. So for several years, I couldn't watch an episode all the way through. I would watch it until I started to get too nervous, and then I would turn it off and then go to the Wikipedia page to see who went home. I made an exception to this in the last year or two. There was a show on Netflix called Physical 100. Check it out. It's a good show. But I thought, okay, they don't do judging tables. They get eliminated in the games themselves. I think that I can watch this all the way to the end. However, it had been planted during the players' introductions that all of these, really world-class athletes had plaster casts made out of their torsos. And the eliminated players, right before they walked out the door, they were presented with their plaster torso and then forced to smash it with a sledgehammer. Look, if I needed visual metaphors for failure, I don't need to watch TV for that. I can open up another tab and go to the folder of my resumes for the past 5 years. I looked back at those resumes when I was writing this joke, and I thought the joke was going to be that my resume didn't make any sense. But I found that it actually does if I omit, a third of the jobs that I've ever worked. My LinkedIn page can be complete or it can be coherent. It can't be both. Okay. I have worked in education for, mostly for the past 20 years, but I've worked other jobs. I've had detours, and I have juggled multiple jobs. So from sometime in 2016 to March of 2020, I was working 7 days a week between 2 jobs. Keep in mind that March of 2020. And my museum was about to switch to their spring schedule. I'm like, this is the perfect time to dial it back, try to take some time off, and I got that time off. The universe gave me what I asked for, but I should have been more specific. Okay. And so a job that gets left off my resume a lot is my time at Icon Has Cheeseburger. I worked in cat memes for 4 years in the mid-2010s when you could actually do that. And people thought I worked in tech because I went to a STEM school, but no, I was on the editorial side. And because of that weird career, I always make sure to let my current students know, don't feel pigeonholed by what you study or where you go to school. Even in the tiny sample I have of about 50 physics majors from my school, from my graduating class, I know that you can be a comedian/teacher, you can be a saxophonist on a popular late-night talk show, you can be a Buddhist monk. You don't need to let convention dictate your life choices. On the other hand, you can lean into stereotypes really hard. Several years ago, I saw an article that broadcast that somebody claims they hadn't showered in over 10 years. And I don't know why I clicked on it, but I clicked on it and I found that this guy was an engineer who went to the same school that I did. And I'm like, look, you don't have, nerds, we don't go years without showering. We don't go months without showering. We don't go weeks without showering. It is 4 days tops and only when I'm really depressed. That's what I've got for you this evening. Thank you very much. My name is Teresa Florence.
Keep it going for Teresa Flores, and be sure to check out our workshop tomorrow. I am going to move to a different microphone. Hi, it's still me. Last but not least, I want to introduce you to Jackie. Hi. Jackie and I have a band. We called ourselves the Pocket Strings because ukuleles totally fit in pockets. What are you talking about? And we're going to just play a couple songs for you. I bought this bass ukulele like 3 days ago, so.
And she already knows it completely. It's very impressive.
No, don't put the
She's so
bar
impressive.
that high. Don't do that. Okay. This is a little chemistry love song. When we snuggle real close together, it's as if we are one. Just like two atoms fusing. Didn't know chemistry could be so fun. I'd say we're quite radical, and I don't mean that we're cool. More like we have electrons to share. Come on, let's form a molecule. You and me, we have chemistry. Come with me, so we can bond covalently. I'll be the hydrogen to your chlorine, or the nitrogen to your nitrogen. If we want a super strong triple bond, I'll be the carbon to your oxygen. I want to form an orbital with you, don't care if it's sigma or pi. Now I made myself hungry, wanna go grab some actual pie. You and me, we have chemistry. Come with me, so we can bond covalently. You say you're out of phase, except when you're with me. Well, I've never felt more in phase. This must be valency. You and me, we have chemistry. Come with me, so we can bond covalently. You and me, we have chemistry. Come with me, so we can bond covalently. Bonus appearance from Kirby there. This next song is a song I wrote after I colored my hair like 5 times in 1 year. It's inspired by Manic Pixie Dream Girls. Just need our props ready. My clumsiness is adorable, my awkwardness is cute. I play a quirky instrument like a ukulele or a lute. I will teach you how to love indie rock. If you still don't think I'm quirky, just take a look at my socks, they don't match. I don't understand why everyone loves kale. You can recognize me by my bushy turquoise tail. I am nothing more than I seem. I'm a manic pixie dream. Squirrel. I ironically have a nut allergy. When a dog walks back too close, I will run straight up a tree, okay. When winter's close, I will bury all my food. And I am kind of furry, so I'm never really nude. What? I don't understand why everyone loves kale. You can recognize me by my bushy orange tail. I am nothing more than I seem. I'm a manic pixie dream. Squirrel. I don't understand why everyone loves kale. You can recognize me by my bushy green short tail. I am nothing more than I seem. I'm a manic pixie dream. Squirrel. Keeping them on. We decided to keep them on, I forgot.
We just like them.
This next song is a song that Jackie wrote. Do you want to introduce it?
So this normal occurrence that happens for all of us, I'm sure you've experienced it, where you're in a relationship with a programming language. And yeah, that's what this is about, is being in a romantic relationship with a programming language. All right, enjoy. Oh, JavaScript, I want to end this relationship. But I don't have a choice, I need you for web development. I keep asking you what's your type, what kind of girls do you like? But I keep getting back, object, undefined. You're so mysterious. I want to know what this is between us. But I can never remember how to figure out the value of this. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, too empty erasure and equal a string. You're like an ex we all regret, ever dating. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, a set compilation target. But you're a language I just can't quit, because browsers require it. My friends keep saying I need to leave you. You never keep your promises. 3 equal signs is too many to determine equality. If you ask me, you finally settled down with like 8 different frameworks. You're so insecure and bad with big numbers. But no matter what anyone says about React, you've gotta give it props. And every time I make a plan to leave you, I've seen what you make web pages do. And I gotta say I'm React hooked on you. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, too empty erasure equal a string. You're like an ex we all regret, ever dating. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, a set compilation target. But your language I just can't quit, because browsers require it. You're like a fetch call that never returns results. You've come a long way from manually building the DOM, but it shouldn't have taken you this long to discover private functions. No one's using you by yourself anymore. We're all using TypeScript. Please forgive me, you're bad with types, you know it. We all do. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, too empty erasure equal a string. You're like an ex we all regret, ever dating. You're such a train wreck, JavaScript, a set compilation target. But your language I just can't quit, because browsers require it. Browsers require it.
So we got some chemistry today. We got some software engineering today. That's all we're representing today.
And squirrels, don't forget the squirrels.
We got some squirrels represented today. My day job is I work in a lab and I have to make sure everyone stays safe. I don't know how. So I wrote a song and hopefully I can use all of your help to like sing along with it if you recognize it, which you will, because it's you'll see. So once you're like, oh, I know this, I know the words, just sing along. That would be great. I've done this every year, and every year it gets better, and I have a feeling this will be even better than last year. Okay? You got this? Great. It's called Dumb Ways to Die. Shine a laser in your eye. Eat a piece of bacterial contaminated pie. Stick your hand in an ultrasound bath. Your head explodes from doing too much math. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. So that was just the chorus. So every time you hear that, you can sing along, because now you know it, because you heard it once. Trip over an electrical cord. Accidentally open a toxic lab door. Switch your drinking water for some chemicals. Use that laser light to shave your balls. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Prick yourself with a syringe and get bitten by a mouse with an eating binge. Expose your skin to UV light. Try telling your supervisor you think they're not right. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. We'll do one more verse and then repeat the chorus twice so you can prepare for singing along the last time. Use radium to polish your nails. Cover the song and get sued by Australian Rail. Put Put your hand in a Bunsen burner flame. Think doing geeky comedy's your ticket to fame. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Last chance, we're gonna do it one more time. Give it your best. Dumb ways to die. Yes. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'm so sorry that song will be stuck in your head for the rest of the convention. We were the Pocket Strings. I'm Valerie Benty. This was Geeky Comedy. We have some stickers here in the front and some QR codes if you want to follow us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the convention. Thank you.
Thank you.